Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Trishna and I mainly make content about books and reading and writing in general. I also sometimes really like to overshare everything about me on this channel, but today that is not going to happen. Today I want to do a book tag. One of these, I was going through some YouTube videos and I found this one person who was mentioned who had made a blog which had all the book tags that were on YouTube for like the last, I don't know, a while. Like a few years ago, book tags were a huge thing on YouTube, like BookTube, and I used to love watching them. And so I really want to do them because, yeah. So I found their blog and I'm going to do the 20 questions tag. So yeah, let's get started. So the first question is, how many books is too many books in a series? Okay, so like all the series that I love have been under 5-6-ish books. I feel like Percy Jackson, it is like separated into different series, but all of them together are in this huge series. But I love that as well. Like Percy Jackson and Heroes of Olympus, I consider that like one singular series, even though it's very different in its themes and tones. But like that is 10 books, and I did feel like that was too long, but also I will read like 100 books about Percy Jackson. Like that's fine. But yeah, I feel like over 6 is pushing it too much. Also, if it's like 6 with like a proper outline and you needed, like the author needed those 6 books to complete the series, makes sense. But some series, like they end halfway, like they end, suppose, in the 3rd book. And then the author just decides to write more books. So there is 4, 5, 6, and then there is another ending, even though the ending that was there in the 3rd book was good and it did not need to be continued. For example, like series like The Mortal Instruments or the Shatter Me series, they both have a very good climax in their 3rd books. But then they decide to pull it more, like the authors decide to pull it more for the next 3 books as well. Even though I don't think they were necessary. Like I'm not complaining because I would like if I genuinely like those characters, I would love to see them more and like read more books that have them. But I feel like even that, like, you know, ending it once and then restarting it kind of like annoys me a bit. Like I completed Ignite Me like 2 years ago and I still cannot get myself to start the 4th book. I'm not sure what its name is. I think Restore Me. But in the Shatter Me series, and because like Ignite Me ends well, like I like where it ends and I'm scared. Also, like I don't know, yeah, I'm excited to meet some of the characters that I know are there in the next 3 books, but also I don't really care enough to go back to that series. So I feel like 6 is like a good amount. Above 6 is a little bit annoying. But yeah, 6, I feel like I would read a series that has 6 books in it. Like I wouldn't be deterred if I saw like, oh, the series has 6 books. So yeah, 6. The next question is, how do you feel about cliffhangers? Every time I read the word cliffhangers, especially in the context of like books and like obviously in books, but like yeah, in books, it makes me think of Mark of Athena because no other book has done a cliffhanger as good as Rick Riordan did in Mark of Athena. And I keep thinking about that. And the thing is, I read the series after the last book had come out. So by the time I was reading Mark of Athena, I had House of Hades with me. So as soon as I completed Mark of Athena, I just started House of Hades. But if I didn't have House of Hades, I'm pretty sure I would have gone insane. Like I like the idea of cliffhangers. Like I know why the authors do it, and it's an amazing like tactic to use to make sure that the readers come back for the sequel. But at the same time, as a reader, I am terrified of them because I am the kind of person who gets very anxious if I don't know where something is headed or what is happening, and cliffhangers stress me out. Like I am so scared. That's why you will never see me buying only the first book of a series. Like, even though I have not read the first book and I don't know if I'm going to like it, I will buy the entire series if it's out. Like, if the series was like, it's the entire thing is already out, I will buy the entire thing, because I know that if it has a cliffhanger, I will want to start the second book right that moment. So how, I don't know, I like them, but I also am scared of them. So yeah, that's my answer. The next question is hardback or paperback. Probably paperback, because I don't own those many hardbacks, and I feel like I'm the kind of person who folds that. I know I'm going to get attacked for this, but like, if it's a paperback, I just feel more comfortable holding it, and I like to turn the book. I don't know how to explain this, but like, when you're holding the book and you turn it a little bit while reading, like if you're reading this page, you turn this page a little bit. I do that sometimes and I like it. So that can only happen with a paperback. That can't happen with a hardback. So I think paperback. Hardback, I like the look of it, and if about like below the cover there is embossment, and like, you know how some of them, like some books have like this different art inside, that is beautiful, and I would love to own that. But also, like, usually they're costlier, and I'm the kind of person who finds the cheapest option and buys that. So yeah, paperback. The next question is, what are your favorite books? I don't know. Actually, it doesn't even say books. It says book. And that is not fair. But recently, I had to order the top 10 books. Like top 5 books, I think. And okay, I'll just go by what I've read recently, like in the last 2 years. I think like Thousand Splendid Suns, because it was like a great book. Obviously the writing style is amazing. Khaled Hosseini is like an incredible author, but also it just made me feel a lot of things that I'd not been feeling for a while. So like emotionally it had a very huge impact on me. And also Radio Silence by Alice Oseman, because that book has just like stayed with me since the day I read it, and I love that book. The way it is written, it starts off slow, but like halfway, not even halfway, like after like the first like 15%, I was so engrossed in it, and I found so much of myself in the characters. So and like, it's just a really well written book, and I love Alice Oseman. So yeah, Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini and Radio Silence by Alice Oseman for now. The next question is obviously least favorite book, and I don't think about that. Like, if I didn't like a book, I will not think about that book. But okay, I didn't think I was ever going to talk about this phase of my reading on my YouTube channel. But a few years ago, I had like a phase of like 2-3 months where I'm pretty sure I read like 5 to 6 Penelope Douglas books. If you don't know who that is, good, because that means you don't read smart, and I'm very proud of you. But she's basically a author who writes a lot of smut, and some of the themes in her books are very concerning, but that is besides the point. I don't want to talk about that. But at that time, I don't even remember if I actually liked the books or not, or I was just reading them because I had them on my phone. I do not know. But looking back at it now, I definitely don't like the themes in the books, the way it was written, the way certain things were portrayed. It is also not a very, I don't know, like not a good romance at all, like a lot of the stories. So like that entire, I'm not going to name names because I don't want you guys to know for sure what books I've read. But yeah, like some books written by Penelope Douglas that I had a phase of reading, those books. But if you want like a specific book, I'll go with It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, just because I hate it. Yeah, I did not like, I get what she was trying to do with that book, and I feel like if it was executed better, it would have been a good book. But the way it was written, certain aspects of it just really made me not like it, and not like the way certain things were presented. So yeah. It ends with us by Colleen Hoover. The next question is love triangles, yes or no, and a hard no. Also, I know a few people have spoken, but I like had this thought like a lot of years ago, like at least 4 or 5 years ago, about how love triangles are not actually love triangles, and like love angles, because it's like two people loving one person or like liking one person, attracted to one person, whatever, but like those two people don't like each other, so it's not a triangle, that's all. But also I feel like even if it was a triangle, actually no, if it was a triangle, that would become a queer love story, and I would love that. But unless, like, if it's a love angle, then hard no, I hate it so much. The only love angle that I've liked ever is in The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare, which is Will, Jem and Tessa. Like, it was so well done, and also like I feel like that could pass as a love triangle, because you will not convince me that Will and Jem were not gay for each other, okay? They are both bisexual, they both loved each other, that's all. Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't explicit, so it counts as a love angle, I guess. But yeah, I've not read a love triangle, so I am not sure. But the love angles that I've read, I hated every single one of them. Okay, the next question is the most recent book that you just couldn't finish, because one of them is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes that I started around like September or October last year, and I got like more than 50% through the book, and I liked a lot of it, but I also didn't like some of it. But after a point, Snow, the character, just got so annoying that I could not. And I mainly read the book because I wanted to watch the movie, but like I think I'm just going to DNF it. Like, I've not read it in like 3 months, and like last week I was thinking maybe I should just, like, because I'm on my summer break and I don't have anything better to do, maybe I should just like get through it. It's not that much, it's like 200 pages more, but I'm not sure. So The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Susan Collins. And also I started Norwegian Wood by Murakami like a month or so ago, or more than that, definitely. I started in like March, yeah, so like 2 months ago, and I will get through it. The thing is, I am like 10% through it, and one of my friends like recently went, you should start with Kafka on the Shore if you're reading Murakami, and then read Norwegian Wood. So I'm planning to start Kafka and then get to Norwegian Wood, which will take a bit of a time, so I'll restart the book probably because I won't remember anything. So yeah, I don't know if Norwegian Wood classifies because I will get to it, like I know, but yeah, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes then. The next question is a book you're currently reading, and I just completed Animal Farm a few days ago, and then I picked up On Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong, which I had started like back in February, but I'd gotten through a little bit and then I had to do some other work for my courses, so I kind of lost touch. So I started it again day before yesterday, and I'm like 30-40% through, and I love it so much. It's such a well-written book. Ocean Vuong is great, and I want to read more of their work. I'm pretty sure after this I will spend like a day or two trying to get a hold of their poems. So yeah, so the next question is the last book you recommended to someone. And I think I was talking about Loveless to one of my friends a few days ago, but after that I also continuously posted like 4 Percy Jackson reels on my story, which is technically recommending a book to somebody. Oh no, okay, so I recently was talking to a friend and she's interested in murder mysteries but has not really read YA murder mysteries because she thinks they're dumb, which was a little hurtful because I love YA murder mysteries. I think they're so fun. But yeah, so I was talking to her and I was like, you should really read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and then she was hesitant, but then I managed to convince her. So that, I think that was like 2-3 days ago, and also the show is coming out, so that also helped in convincing her, and I'm so excited because I love a good Girl's Guide to Murder, and Holly Jackson, the way she crafted those 3 books, amazing, beautiful. So yeah, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder to one of my friends. Oldest book you have read by publication date, and I don't have to think about this, it's Animal Farm by George Orwell, because I don't read old books. Like, I have I was scared of classics for the longest time, didn't like them even though I'd not read them, so I had a very weird perception of them. But I recently wanted to start, so picked up Animal Farm. Like, I have a whole, like, summer, I'm probably just going to be reading classics and stuff. Like, after honors, I'm planning to start Frankenstein. So a lot of like older books that I'm really interested to read. So, but yeah, for now, it's only Animal Farm by George Orwell. After that, I don't think I've read anything that is like before 2000s. So, yeah. Next question is newest book you've read by publication date. And Heartstopper Volume 5. I read that whenever it came out. Like, as soon as it came out, I had pre-ordered it. So it came to my university like 2 days after it was released. And I'm pretty sure I started it that evening or like the next evening. So yeah. Heartstopper Volume 5 by Alice Oseman. The next question is favorite author, and I think this video is just turning into me talking about Alice Oseman because the answer is Alice Oseman. I just love her and they are amazing and incredible. Oh, also like Mason Deaver, who has written I Wish You All the Best and OK Cupid, which is a recent release which I've not gotten to read yet. Also The Feeling of Falling in Love, The Ghost We Keep, and am I forgetting something? I feel like I'm forgetting something. But yeah, so like those are the 4 books I've read. I Wish You All the Best and The Feeling of Falling in Love. The Ghost We Keep keeps scaring me because I don't do good with like extremely emotional books, and I've heard from multiple people that it's very sad. So I'm scared to start it. And OK Cupid has just like not been available on like in any stores in India, and like I checked online, but it's way too costly for me right now, so we'll see. If not, I'll probably just buy the ebook and read that. So I'm excited. But yeah, Alice Oseman and Mason Deaver, they are both such incredible authors, and I can say Alice Oseman with like so much confirmation, I feel like, because I've read all of their works, like the published works, and I just love all the works except for like one book which I was I like it, but like not as much as I would have liked. So yeah, I love all of their works and I love the way they write them. So Alice Oseman and Mason Deaver. The next question is buying books or borrowing books, and definitely buying books because I love annotating. So I can't really do that in a book I borrow. So buying books, and also I love looking at my books after like being the first thing I wake up. I stare at them and I'm like, yeah, I love you, bookshelf. So yeah, definitely buying books. I want to have a huge book collection, even though I plan to travel a lot, like slow traveling after I graduate. So I don't know what I'm going to do with those books, but I love them. So they're coming with me. So yeah, definitely buying books. I love bookstores. The next question is a book that you will dislike that everyone else seems to love. And the answer could be It Ends With Us, because I do know a lot of people who love the book, but I also do know a lot of people who don't like it. So, I'm trying to think. The thing is, I read a lot of books that are pretty famous, and if I don't think I'm going to like a book, I don't pick it up. And like, I have a very high 4 and 5 star rating, like that's my usual rating, because most of the books that I pick up, I spend a lot of time thinking about whether I will like it or not, and if I don't think I will like it, I just don't pick it up, even though I feel like that's not a great thinking. But I don't. And so most of the books I read, like 90% of the books I read turn out to be like very good, and I genuinely like them. So there are very few books that I don't like, and that like me not liking a book and someone else liking is very, I don't know. Let's see if Goodreads can help us with this. Yeah, see, all the books that I don't like are either like books nobody has heard of or books that others also don't like. So I don't know. I mean, it could be Shadow and Bone because I hated the first book, but I really like the second and third book in the series. But a lot of people seem to not like Shadow and Bone, so I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I guess I'll just go, okay, I guess Love Hypothesis, like I liked it, Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I liked it when I read it, but then after like 4 5 months, I had gone back to it and I hated it. So I don't know what happened. But yeah, I guess that could be an answer. So yeah, Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. The next question is bookmark or dog ears. I use a bookmark. I use a bookmark always when I'm reading. I dog ear for other things. So I actually had not done this until like very recently. I used to use those like little sticky tabs, but in one of like Jack Edwards' videos, he had mentioned how he dog ears the pages he wants to come back to and like reread and stuff. And I really like that idea. So like there are only like 2 or 3 books that I've dog eared so far. And there are like multiple pages that I've dog eared, but you like dog earing for like making sure I don't forget a page instead of using a bookmark. I don't do that. I do use a bookmark, so both. I don't know, but yeah, I do use a bookmark, but I also dog ear to remember pages that I want to reread. So yeah, that brings us to our next question: a book you can always reread. And the book I've reread the most times is probably Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, because I just love that book. Like Alex and Henry are like so cute, and also it was like the first like proper queer book that I'd ever read, so I feel like it just holds like a very special place in my heart. So that, but I also do go back to a lot of like romances just when I feel down, so that it can like make me happy and stuff. So yeah, like a couple romances, but like the book that I reread the most, and I've reread it like at least 6 7 times, is Red, White and Royal Blue. But I've also read it I Wish You All the Best like 3 times, I think. So yeah, those 2, I guess. The next question is, can you read while hearing music? And if the music, like if by music you just mean instrumental music or like classical tunes, then yes. But I can't listen to music that have words and like lyrics, because that distracts me. Like, and especially if that song is a song that I know, then I will be reading and the song will start playing and I will start singing the song like and forget the book. Like recently my sister was listening to Taylor Swift and I was sitting in my room and I was trying to read, and then one of my favorite songs came on and I was like, no, I can read, and I was like looking at the pages but like nothing was going in, and after like 2 seconds I gave up and I just started singing the song. So yeah, I can read with music until it's just instrumental or like just like melodies, but not music that have lyrics and words in them. The next question is one or multiple POVs, and I feel like multiple POVs, I enjoy it, especially in like romance books. If it's dual POV and we are getting both sides, then I love that book. I don't think I enjoy a single POV. Like even in fantasy books, which is a fantasy book with a single POV? Cruel Prince, the Folk of the Air series by Holly Black. Yeah, that has only Jude's perspective. But yeah, I enjoyed it, but I also didn't. I feel like I would have liked it more. But I feel like a single POV also gives more space for the author to like make it more suspense driven type of a thing, because if you're getting it from all perspectives, I don't know. But yeah, I enjoy multiple POVs more, I think. So yeah, especially in romance book, if it's dual POV, I love that. Do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? Definitely multiple days. There are very few books that I've been able to complete in one sitting. Most of them are graphic novels. But yeah, I don't like sitting for hours on end just reading. I mean, I do like few hours, like 2-3 hours fun, but I'm pretty slow reader as well. So unless the book is like under 120 pages, I'm not going to be done with it in like a couple of hours. And I also like to space it out. A lot of the times mystery books, I will read 20% of it over a few days, and then there will be some twist, and after that I'll complete the rest in one sitting. But yeah, I've not completed a lot of books in one sitting, and I like reading over a span of a few days, enjoying the book, reading it before bed, and like, yeah, so reading over multiple days. The next question is a book that you have read because of the cover, and I don't think there is a single book that I've read just because of the cover, because as I said, I do a lot of like, not research per se, but I do read the blurb and I see if the rating is good before I pick up a book. So there is no book that I have just read because I was like, oh, this cover is pretty and I want to read it. I've definitely like read the blurb and understood what the premise is before like starting to read it. So there is no book that I've just read because of the cover, but there are certainly books that I've been interested in because of the cover. Like I was like, oh, this cover is pretty and I want to see if, you know, the story is as good. So like I've read the blurb and then been like, yeah, I can read this. Like One Last Stop, like I really love its cover. It's like so cute, but like I'd already read Casey McQuiston, so I was going to read it whether the cover was good or not. So maybe not. I like Sorcery of Thorns cover a lot. I think I picked it up because of its cover. I'm not sure. The Feeling of Falling in Love by Mason Deaver. It's just such a funny and cute cover, and I was like, yeah, I want to read this. So like there are certainly books that I was interested in because of the cover, but not like, oh, I'm not going to know anything else about this book, just read it because of its cover. Like that is just not me. So yeah. So that was the last question apparently. I was like, oh, are there more questions? And I scrolled and it just said all done. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know that like the 20 questions were done, but yeah. Hope you liked this video. I certainly did. It was a lot of fun to make, and I love talking about my preference in books and just like the books I like. And as you can see, love talking about Alice Oseman as well. But yeah, I love making book tag videos as well, so you will be seeing a lot of that in the future. And I'm really proud of myself because last video I said I'm going to make a video every week, and this is the next Friday and I'm making a video and you will see it in like a couple of days, and I'm very happy about that, very proud of myself. But yeah, that was the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please do like the video, and if you want to see more videos like this of me just blabbering, then subscribe to my channel. I will see you in the next video. For now, bye bye.